which means that the level ends with a completely normal ship part, which you should be able to do with no problem after all the practice completed. Good job, you beat the first level of the game. Kids at school still say that you're bad, so on to level 2. Before back on track with these steps, most players will probably start the last level taught you that you can't jump over the spikes. So the only logical conclusion is that the yellow is passing. Once you clear the first set of spikes, but this one is changed to another jump. After that is a more pass, but this is important because it shows that mechanics are against you too much. So it's important to understand how they work and to stay aware of the surroundings. And you'll hopefully develop a feel for the jump pads that you can tell exactly where they're going to launch. People tend to sleep on back of track, but I really like it because the entire level sounds on one specific game. It introduces it in a safe way at the beginning, and it scales up the difficulty and plays around with different ways to use it. It's a very traditional way to play the level, all four. Next up is forward. Similar to the beginning of back of track, you can't jump over. Asterisk. So what's this yellow thing? First part of double Definitely not a jump pad. Enter the jump ramp. Wow, I hate it. Might not sure how to go but you'll definitely get it so fast. If you beat the first level, or although you might not realize it's hard to go. Just like with pads, the level teaches you that not all work can hit, so make sure you're in. Obviously there's also the pads, but they're not the main focus. Once you're comfortable with orbs, it's kind of slightly hard to turn off auto-rotate, and set with the driver. Platforming, that's part of it. Surprisingly, not a single orb or jump pattern. After that is this mysterious new yellow portal, which... If you're a new player, you're probably lost your mind when you first saw this. For everyone else, so put upside down intimidating as this part is, the first few jumps are all very good, and the rest of it helps you get a much better understanding for which block patterns require a jump and which ones don't. This back-to-back is something you'll show on your level, so it's something you'll definitely want to master, especially when the gravity is. Anyways, if it wasn't yourself, you'll probably know someone who flipped their screen upside down during this part, and realize that moving from right to left is and not because this part isn't hard, you just have what we call a skill issue. Interestingly enough, this is only upside down the entire level, so even if it's the most memorable part, I wouldn't say that it was built around it. After that, wait, the entire level only has Ow! Fortunately, base after base has plenty of them. Now that you're comfortable with paths and changes, base after base mixes them all together and tests your skills so far. It doesn't actually so there's not much to talk about. They let go. Sure, although it doesn't grab them. It also has a purple pad that always used to distract me from the main path. Jumpers, but it does teach something that's just like recording. The level focuses on very short ups so this level helps ease you into that. Oh, and also, you know that the shield you have this completely open area in order to get a feel for it, followed by a slightly harder one, but still mostly open. My machine has even shorter upside down sections, which really sets it apart from something more relevant. Yeah. Also, get comfortable with triple spike. This level introduces the hero portal, which gives you plenty of time to and then from there it's off. And finally, the level introduces normal and which is good to know. That will appear in a lot. It's got a lot of triple spikes and tricks with way too many fake orbs. It's definitely good practice for sight reading, but also, why are there so many? Like, chill. Oh, right, also. The ball section starts with this large impassable wall. Both game modes so far would require some kind of input to get past it, so naturally, flip the screen and see it happen. That first click of the level will give you a good idea of how the ball works. So after that, it kind of runs with spikes and orbs. Here, you're given no choice to go into the gravity mode, so it's kind of obvious how it works in ball sections. It leads you right into the chances you up, and it shows that it's a little more floaty in this game. Hopefully you're familiar with the lagging mode. You how to do it in the game. I'm not used to that, but it's mostly straightforward and gets easier to practice. After that's a completely empty section. And then some complicated ball sections. By the end of the level, you should be really familiar with the ball. The X-Step. Oh my god, the new visual style. Everything's so wavy now. The level introduces the jump, but it's interactive. It's an automatic transition to the ship section. We're not exactly sure how it works. Because the first time that you properly interact with the pad is in the ship. I'm pretty sure it is. While I think it's a good thing, really should the level would have been but I kind of admire it. I just wish the player did a bit more introduction to pads first. And also, why is there no corner for section upside down? It would have been such a good spot. Anyways, following the ship section, the blue jump pad. But again, it might be a bit much since technically your only experience with it was in the ship. So putting a blue pad and immediately sticking the yellow one would be tricky for what you technically do with the pad. That's not to say it's too hard. Again, I just wish it was auto. Later down, the level also teaches the player about the existence of fake balls like normal rings in seconds. I remember being super confused at first, but when I did practice, it's easier rather than towards the future level as well. Finally, all the way at 79%, the level introduces the floor. I don't know why it wouldn't be here, but yeah, this is the first occurrence. Hopefully it's bad, how they learn, but if not, with them a little more, but it's not as important. Level boards, so it's not like an easy setting. Learn how it works. Let us all introduce spikes. The first input of the level is to jump over one without an extra. There's a bit of fake block usage at the start, so hopefully you remember that for next step. That takes us to the introduction of the mini portal, which is done in a very fun way. Despite being interactive, it's in pretty much every game mode. This section feels just as shrunken down as your icon. The obstacles are smaller, it's overall super easy to adjust to. And I think this is a brilliant way of introducing a surprisingly tricky game. And there, the mini ball part is the mini ship is a bit more sensitive, but otherwise pretty easy. So the second just like gravity. The level ends with the final mini section, which heavily focuses on the blue war. I like to consider this their official introduction since it's a lot more new stuff. There's a lot of yellow and blue orbs change after that. You don't process which ones to hit and which ones to skip. And then you get this fun part where you fall at the end. Theory of Everything has an infamously hectic beginning. Less experienced players might be confused by everything going on here, but they tend to realize that you can survive by just randomly tapping the screen. But we're gonna assume you played the previous 11 levels, so you should hopefully have a clearer understanding of what's going on. It mixes a bunch of mechanics that you've learned while also introducing the purple pad and orb. Unlike X-Step, this is done in a very straightforward and understandable way, since hitting it is your only choice anyways. The first ship part branches off into two paths, with the top path being safe and the bottom one being not. This is going to be a recurring gimmick in the level, so it's nice that the first occurrence of it was presented in a very basic way. The level also introduces the UFO game mode, where your initial reaction would probably be to treat it like the ship, only to realize that holding does nothing. So naturally you keep tapping and from there it's obvious. The very same also touch the ground in case you're slow to react, which is a detail that I really